Friends, I come to talk to you about a very important subject. I'm going to point out a lot of some errors in the NT that a lot of people don't even know that's in there. I'm going to read you scripture, then I'm going to show you the proof that we are not to worship Yahshua, but we are to worship Yah. This is what it says in Matthew 2:2. And they said, "Where is he who was born, the King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east, and have come to worship him." We are not to worship Yahshua, and I can prove this to you. Go with me to Matthew chapter 4. Matthew chapter 4 verse 10. This is what Yahshua said. Yahshua told him, "For the Torah says, worship Yahuwah your Yah and serve only him." This is what Yeshua is saying. Yeshua is saying, worship Yahuwah your Yah and serve only him. That's what Yeshua said. Yeshua don't want you to worship him. Yeshua wants you to worship Yah, Yahuwah your Yah. He didn't say worship the Messiah. He said worship Yahuwah your Yah and serve only him. That's what he said. That's error number 1 in the New Covenant, because you are only supposed to worship Yah. You are not supposed to worship Yahshua. You are to worship Yahuwah only and serve only him. That is Matthew chapter 4 verse 10. How do you know? How will you know if something's right in the Torah and in the Renewed Covenant? Let me point it out to you. This is how you know everything is right out of the Torah and into the Renewed Covenant. Okay, this is Smoke, chapter 20, Smoke in Hebrews Exodus, chapter 20, verse 13, 14, 15. It says, "Do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal." Verse 16, "Do not give false evidence against your neighbor." That is Smoke 20, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Go with me to Romans. This is what it says. It says, "For the mitzvahs, don't commit adultery, don't murder, don't steal, don't covet." And any others are summed up in this one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. That was Romans chapter 13, verse 9. I'll read it again. "For the mitzvahs, don't commit adultery, don't murder, don't steal, don't covet. And any others are summed up in this one rule: love your neighbor as yourself." Love, this verse 10, "Love does no harm to neighbor. Therefore love is the fullness of Torah." And let me prove it to you. Let's go to Leviticus 19. Leviticus 19, verse 18. This is what it says. Don't take vengeance on or bear a grudge against any of your people. Rather, love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahuwah. Verse 19. Observe my regulations. Let me read it again. Verse 18 and 19 of Leviticus. It says, don't take vengeance on or bear a grudge against any of your people. Rather, love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yahuwah. Observe my regulations. Now that was in Romans chapter 13, and now this is in Leviticus chapter 19, verse 18 and 19. That's how you know if something's true in the renewed covenant. If it matches up with the Torah, then it's of Yah. But if it doesn't match up with the Torah, then it's not of Yah, friends. Because everything's written in the renewed covenant, which people call the NT, comes from the Torah or the Tanakh. Or it's not to be trusted. Friends, I'm here to tell you the truth and not lie to you. Did Yahshua say that the Torah's done away with? He did not. Anybody's lying. That's another mistake in the NT, because I'll be proved to you otherwise. I'm going to prove to you otherwise. It's a mistake for people to say the Torah's done away with, and if the NT says it's a mistake, it's not of Yah. Listen to what it says right here in the renewed covenant, Matthew chapter 5, verse 17 through 19. Don't think that I've come to abolish the Torah or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to complete. Yes, indeed, I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not so much as a yod or a stroke will pass from the Torah, not until everything that must happen has happened. So whoever disobeys the least of these mitzvot and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever obeys them and so teaches will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Yahshua is saying right there, obey the Torah. Obey the Torah. Obey the mitzvahs of Yah. He ain't saying disobey them. He ain't saying they're passed away. Let me prove it again to you in Yochanan. Who wrote the Torah? Yah through Moshe did. This is what it says. But don't think that it is I who will be your accuser before the Father. Do you know who will accuse you? Moshe, the very one you have counted on. For if you really believed Moshe, you would believe me, because it was about me that he wrote. But if you don't believe what he wrote, how are you going to believe what I say? If you don't believe what Moshe wrote, which Yah wrote the Torah through Moshe, then you ain't gonna believe what Yeshua is saying to you. He's saying to you, if you don't believe the Torah, then you won't believe him. And friends, I'm here to tell you, obey the Torah. It's right. Yah bless you.